Hello. Ocean islands are kind of medieval collection, Kunstkamera, of very unusual things. So every ocean island is slightly different and full of this craziness. For example, there's a crazy place. I mean crazy in botanical sense because I'm staying in a place where a small river from the mountain is bordering with sea, but there is no mangroves. These are Agassawara Islands, very southern, subtropical, almost tropical islands, but mangroves, for some strange reason, are absent. And there is another weirdness. This is a mulberry. Today is January 7th, but that mulberry is flowering. So this is wonderful Agassawara mulberry, the plant which in many, well, at least catalogs and floras regarded as deciduous. But if you look, you can see like it's January 7th and it's full of fresh green leaves. However, if you look slightly behind me, there is a tree which covered with yellowish leaves. So yes, it is deciduous, but sometimes leaves are going out, sometimes not. And tree is full of female flowers and young fruits. At first, fruits are kind of greenish whitish and then start to be pinkish and finally reddish with some fruitlets more or less black. In that condition, they might be considered to be ripe. So this is wonderful. As you see here, the female inflorescences are intermixing with fruits and looks like it's very far from end of flowering season. So what's going on? I don't know, but one of explanation is the heaviness of climate on oceanic islands. Typically temperature doesn't go very much up and down. It goes more or less around like 22-24 centigrades for all season across the year. Today is January 7 and temperature is now about like a 21 centigrades. So the summer is of course warmer, but again temperature is not so high, especially close to the ocean. That will kind of, well, mislead plants, well, and many of them start to flower like longer in a more, well, dispersed season way, or sometimes in completely unusual way, for example to escape competition for pollinators. A mulberry is wind pollinated plant, so typically it cannot, well, be dependent on pollinators so heavily, but still flowering in a winter time will give some interesting opportunities even for wind pollinated plants. For example, the concentration of pollen in the air is better, kind of denser in the summertime, whereas in the winter time this chance to catch the pollen of the same species, if plant flowers unusually like this one, is actually higher. So this is my explanation, but maybe something different. Anyway, so mulberries are present here on Agassawara as normal forest plants, so sometimes up to the mountains. Mountains are low enough, like about 200-300 meters. You can see very large trees, and sometimes you can see the coastal trees of that species, which are growing quite successfully on places where mangroves might grow, but mangroves are not here. So this is Agassawara mulberry. Very interesting and funny plant. First time when I saw kind of untimely flowering of mulberry on a Kyushu, I found the description of that species, which normally flowers in October to December, and it was a big surprise. Now I can touch it, and yes, this is a mulberry which flowers in winter. Thank you.